Jamar.
What's going on YouTube?
Washington.
This your boy, Martin for here once again. Hey, what's going on YouTube? This your boy Jamari Ford here once again, and we are back, baby. Now I know the last few episodes from like the finale of Chasing Atlanta, I got the first part of the reunion, but I didn't do the second part of the reunion because, baby, I was in transition, moving from LA to Atlanta now, and I was just like, child, I wasn't gonna try to kill myself. It was gonna be a hot mess. So I just decided to wait till I got my shit together, and now we have Chasing Dallas, the Retreat. Now, I contemplated on trying to recap this because I'm still like going back and watching. I'm still like maybe midway through the first season of Chasing Dallas. So a lot of these characters I may not be familiar with. There's gonna be a lot of context and backstory that I may not know. But we're just gonna judge based off of what we see here on this here retreat, okay? So, honestly, the first episode is just a lot of introduction, how people were sort of brought together for the retreat in the first place. Reese G said it just happened to be a post on Facebook where he said he wants to go do a vacation and he knew that Trey Howard would want to come and his homegirl area would want to come. And they go back to how they kind of invited everyone. Cool beans, whatnot. Rinse and repeat for Drecember. Now, I know Drecember came from that show that really neither one of us want to particularly talk about. And on the first season of that show, I don't know if I've ever talked about this on the platform, but on the first season of that show, when I was watching it, I was telling Scotty how much I personally could not stand Drecember and what the part that he had played in that first season. And then he came back for the second season, and I'm just like, ooh, child, girl, bye, please. And then finally, when I came for my birthday last November, I got to meet Drecember in person, and we had communicated like via Instagram for a bit. And he was cool. He was a lot cooler off the platform as opposed to on the platform. Now, she's still messy. She is still messy, boots the house down. But she did help me ring in my birthday, took me out, gave me lots and lots of liquor, and, you know, showed me a really good time. So for that, I do appreciate Drecember. And she is still a friend of mine. But baby, when I'm seeing her back on this show and this element, I'm like, oh child, here we go again, because I know what she gives. I know what she gives. So this is gonna be interesting to see how she's gonna be a part of this mix. But the characters that we have, I believe we have, is it 8 people? I think it's either 6 or 8 people. Then we got Reese G, Drecember, there's Eric James, and Eric, me and Scotty actually booked Eric for an interview on The Prelude. If you're not already subscribed to Scotty's channel, that's where I record The Prelude every week, where we do topics, hot topics, current events, interviews with LGBT figures in the community. Go check us out over there, Scotty by Nature TV. We're gonna be interviewing Eric James next week after the premiere of episode 2. And I'm not familiar with him. I don't know if he's coming from Chasing Dallas. Like I said, I haven't got a chance to watch and catch up on them just yet. But he seems cool. He comes in, Dior comes in, like King Beautiful. He is cute. I love his little red hair. Ariel, who's a trans woman. Trey Howard. Trey Howard is like, sort of like I don't want to say like a token, like femme queen stylist on these type of shows. But I love her makeup, I love her hair and whatnot. She looks cute. But it looks like her and Drecember have a past. And I thought it was gonna be like something, because they said this is the first time that they've ever met in person. So, anyway, I have to jump ahead a little bit because I'm just like, a lot of this was just like fluff. Let's see the rooms, let's see, you know, who's gonna stay where, blah, blah, blah. Reese in there cooking chicken, Drecember on the damn thing sleep, and he's like, well, bitch, you ain't even drive nowhere. You did all this sleeping and eating, and what the hell are you doing tired? And I'm the one that's up. But when they all sit down, okay, we get to see they do this 2 truths, 1 lie. No, 2 lies and a truth. Which one is it? Did I have that written down? Oh, 2 truths and 1 lie. That's what it was. So Dior started first, and he took forever. Like, he was trying to be like, oh, I made it with my dad, or I'm not a bomb ass hairstylist, and me and my boyfriend had like a surrogate picked out. And I mean, I don't mind games like this. I know a lot of people were kind of feeling like, oh, this is very surface level. This is very this, very that. I mean, I don't really mind it. I feel like especially if you're not familiar with people, it can kind of be like a way to break the ice and get to know people, let them tell, things about themselves. But then it came down to Drecember. Now, when Drecember started, Trey had actually went to the bathroom, okay? And when he started, he said some other things, but then he was like, I like everybody in this room, or something like that. And then somebody, I think it was Eric, that pointed out, like, I feel like that part there is the lie. I feel like the part that's a lie is that you like everybody in this room. He's like, well, who don't you like in the room, and blah, 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 blah. And he was like, let me be more specific. I like everybody at this table, okay? And then they looked around and they saw that Trey wasn't at the table, so 1 + 1 is 2, right? So Trey comes back, or is in the bathroom, and talk about how he's hearing like people, saying something about his name, blah, blah, blah. And he comes back, and I guess they talk about the whole history of how we try to get down to why it is that Drecember doesn't like Trey and vice versa. So he says that Drecember was on a live with Sky, and he said something about, it really was like haphazard all over the place, but somebody about a bird. They kept making references to different animals and insects and shit, and he felt like, well, I didn't like what you were saying. He's like, oh, I didn't like what you were saying. He's like, but I'm allowed to provide my commentary. I'm allowed to provide commentary, back and forth, back and forth. Then they start coming for the fact that, do you feel like you make money from being a stylist? And he's like, well, girl, at least I have like a business. Like, what are you doing? And it's just going back and forth, back and forth. I'm just like, I really wish that they were a little bit more clear on what it is that happened. Because if it's just this Instagram stuff, there has to be like a basis behind the Instagram stuff. Now, what Trey was saying is like, well, girl, you be hopping from show to show to show, and you were a fan of my show that I was on, and now you're trying to come onto that same platform to get you a little bit of light and blah, blah, blah. I was just like, child. I mean, Chasing Reality is the #1 girl right now. I think in the LGBT reality space, like, they are the #1 girl, and they just keep expanding. Looking forward to Chasing LA. There's a Chasing another Midwestern city, looks like it's coming up. So I'm excited to see everything. So, they are that girl. And he is on the retreat, so she did kind of get her together a little bit. But I know that Drecember is always going to be one to never back down, no matter if he's losing the fight or not. So I feel like he's going to be a definite mix. Now, I'm watching this literally like this morning, right? And I was hearing my friends talk about it, hearing like online chatter about it, and people are kind of like, oh, well, why is Drecember here? Why, we want him to already be taken off the show and blah, blah, blah. And my thing is, Drecember always usually plays the role of the anti-hero or the antagonist. Like, if he wasn't there wouldn't be, at least from what I know, as much to really get the show started to be as entertaining as we want these reality shows to be. Because from what I see, I mean, the trailer kind of looks like there's gonna be more into it, but from what I see, everybody's kind of cool. There's no real animosity too much between one another. So somebody has to do it. And Drecember usually wants to show up and fulfill that role. So if y'all take him off the show, then you're gonna be talking about the show's boring. The same thing I said about my sister Dominique on Chasing Atlanta. Like, everybody's like, oh, get him off the show. He's so messy, he's so that. But then if he wasn't on the show, y'all be calling the show boring. So, and then, never mind. That's gonna be a whole different topic. Be that as it may, I think Drecember is very entertaining for the show. Like, when they said that he was gonna be on there, it did make me want to tune in to see what kind of mess he was gonna stir up. And it was gonna allow me to sort of get introduced to some of the more the Chasing Dallas girls. So, I mean, the retreat so far is cute. The first episode was a little bit of just an introductory period. And I feel like starting episode 2 is when we're gonna start really getting into like the storylines maybe some of the backstory, and even depending on if I have, really get a chance to, because there's a whole lot. Girl, baby, there's so much that Jamar's doing behind the scenes. And there's so many things that me and Scotty are sort of preparing for to help push our brand forward with our show, that it's like, bitch, I ain't got time to do shit. That's what it felt like. But I'm happy for the blessings. I'm thankful for the work. I'm thankful for the opportunities. I'm thankful for the reputation that we're building. But I'm laying the groundwork down now, baby. So just come along for the ride. I hope y'all decide to still support me over on our platform. But yeah, I'll be making videos on this along with my horror stories just to see how this goes. And I'm gonna follow everybody. I'm gonna try to get as familiar with everybody as I can. So yeah, I know this is kind of like somewhat of a haphazard review of the show, but I was entertained. And I feel like we have a lot to look forward to going forward. I don't know how long this is gonna be, maybe like 6, 7, 8 episodes. I don't even know if they're gonna reunite for this, excuse me, but we'll see. Yeah, so guys, thank you guys again so much just for tuning into this video. I know it's relatively short, but I mean, the episode didn't really get started until the end. But yeah, thank you guys again so much for watching. Hope you guys follow me across all my social media platforms at Jamar84, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.
Like, share, subscribe.
Jamar, Washington.